morning, Wednesday morning, 8th of April 2020. Don't know if this is going to be a 2-day video today. I don't know if there's going to be a great deal of footage. Yesterday there was only like 5 or 6 minutes and it seemed pointless. I'd rather try and get 10 minutes in, but we'll see how we go. I've started a bit later this morning. I've just been and got the weekly shop, and it's quite a delight to actually drive a car, believe it or not. I haven't drove for a week when I went shopping last week, and it's only a mile to the shops. So there. And I stopped on the way to pick up some flap discs, clean that boot area up. Yeah, I've had a fair few replies about the welding, and I didn't get slated as much as I thought, to be honest. A lot of people said it was okay, it just needed cleaning up, so recommended these, so we'll see how they go. But I think I'm going to have a day off that today. I've sort of tired myself out a bit with the grinder noise in my ears and all that crap, so I'm going to try and do this steering column today, but that does enable that I've got to put all the wheels back on and get the car on the ground, so that's my first job. Catch you later. Okay, so as we pointed out in one of the first videos, this is the ignition switch and this is the start button. Either the barrel was broken or key was lost. I think I was told the key was lost, which is strange because I have a key, but clearly the barrel is in the spares box all smashed up, so maybe there was a fault with the barrel, who knows. So the first job is going to be take the steering wheel off. Luckily we've got no airbags on these cars, and then this cowling off. I think I've got to take the indicator stalks off and stuff like that. The problem I might have is I haven't got a puller, so we could be game over before we start. And also the steering lock doesn't work, obviously, because the barrel's been smashed off, so could be in for fun times. We'll see what happens. So the steering wheel could be a game over before it even starts at the minute. I take the pad off, and then the nut there is clearly bigger than the biggest socket I've got, which is 32mm. So I need to think of what I can do here, put a plea out, see if anybody's got one, and we'll go from there. Righty ho, glasses on, old man eyes. Right, I've put a plea out on my local Facebook group for anybody that's got a socket. But for now I can take the cowling off and have a look what I can do. So that's what I'll do. Just thought I'd quickly show you the comedy wiring. Clearly where they've put the starter switch, they've removed the brake test switch. Oh no, the hazard warning switch still alive. However, there must be a fault with it, because there's a lovely nice and dangerous loop into the wiring there. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Certainly something we've got to look at there. That was just thrown up behind the dashboard, that was. Yeah, the brake test switch is the other side. So moving on to more comedy wiring, the existing loom for the steering is there, and then a rather fantastic bodge there. Lovely, we like that very much. Potential for fire high. Now, I'm no electrician, but let us take a moment to wonder in the amazement of the switch that's held on by carpet gripper. Nobody's heard of washers. And then the yellow Lucars are actually the correct size for that cable. The blue ones is just about squeezed in. This is great. I mean, the amount of amps that must be going through, and the wires are just showing. And then we get to the comedy part at the end, where you've got the start switch with the tiniest holes in the back there, you can see that, and the fattest wire that's just been basically, I don't know if we're going to focus on that, struggling to focus, but yeah, it's just been bared back really thin. Shocking. I suppose this is why you've got to love old cars, the simplicity of it. So even if I can't get that nut off, I think I can still take the whole of the column off in one go and then worry about it on the bench. That's the plan anyway. If I undo this top UJ there and these bolts here, this should just come off. Right, now this makes sense now. James, the guy I got this off, said to me, there's a locking tab at the end, it'll become evident when you take it off. Basically this little metal tab there, if you look at my new one, you'll see that the tab's straight and the plastic thing is twisted. So I've just got to line that up and lock it round. I get it now, I get it. So the white nylock nut, once you've released this, just pulls out. Well, it will do with two hands, but you get the point. There we go. Plastic nylock is out. This should just lift up now. He says, hopefully. Yeah. I'll need two hands. Of taking the column stalks off now and swapping them onto there. If you can see that now, it's all in and the tab's bent back over. That should be ready to go back in now. Right, you can see I've got the UJ back in, some sort of lined up. Obviously the problem I've got now is I didn't know what spline exactly it was on, so the steering wheel might be a fraction out, but of course once it's all back together and the steering lock's on and I can get hold of a socket, I can just adjust that from the top end. Okay then, so all the wiring's back in and the column is now all fastened on. Steering lock is operative. Turn the key and the lock comes off. Turn the key back, remove the key, the steering lock works. So that's the one bonus. I'll have to connect the battery up to actually see if I've got ignition lights, but I can't start it unfortunately because there's no petrol tank on it. Just spending a few minutes tidying the wiring up. There's one thing I hate is rat's nest wiring. I've put the little press switch back in just to fill the hole really. Connected some cable to it in case I need to use it for something, although I do think in the spares box at work there's a new one of these cowls, so I could just change all that out at a later date. I want to just check I've got 12 volt at this cigarette lighter, although it looks a bit rusty, and get it all back together. I've cable tied the wiring up to the steering column. I can't stand messy wiring, it does my nut in. So generally just tidying up a bit. Right, you're doing this live with me now. We'll see if this switch is actually live. And we've got ignition lights. I'd say that's a yes. Unfortunately I can't turn it over. Well, I can turn it over. Let's just check that again. Just see if it actually turns over. Yeah. All I want to do at the minute is just check what live I've got. I've got this set to audible continuity now, just to check that that other wire is connected to earth. So that means that I've got an earth. And now I can check for lives. Set that to 20 volts. Let's see what we've got. Got no ignition on at the minute, so this is what I need to check, is the cigarette lighter live. Right, you can see there, that's 12.2 volts. So the cigarette lighter's live all the time, so you don't have to have the ignition on. Okay, got 12 volts now working at the cigarette lighter. See, that's red, and then if you unplug it, it goes to blue. Just wanted to check the radio now. It wasn't working, still might not be. That's the feed to the radio. Taking the fuse out. The fuse is all good, checked it for continuity. Here's the input from the car, and that's actually switched live off the ignition. I don't know why we've got a floating voltage there, but you see, as soon as we put the ignition on, we've got 12 volts. Tiny green light there. You can see it on the camera at all. So the radio powers up, but there's no volume or anything coming out. Check the speaker now. So check the head unit on a known working speaker. We've got no volume output at all. I can only assume the amplifier's gone on the radio, which is a shame. Right, so I've just got to find out why the hazard switch is wired like that. If anybody knows, maybe there's a fiddle, maybe something's broken, that's a cheap fix, who knows. But I can't check the indicators because the front side light housings are all out, so nothing's working. I've got one side light at the back, 2 headlights, and not a lot else, so might need some more investigating. The trouble is I don't know if anything worked before I started messing, so we'll see. That's another day done then. Quite enjoyed that today, all the electrical bits and bobs and getting that steering lock working. Shame I couldn't get the radio working, even though it's only medium wave and long wave anyway. I doubt you'd hear much on it, but would have been nice to have a little period radio. Yeah, just got to check all the indicators and find out what's gone on with that hazard warning switch, and then should be all good there. Don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, if anything. Just have to see how we go. Catch you on another video.